Aoko was born to Mr. and Mrs. Olu in their old age. Being an only child, Aoko was an overspoiled brat. She was so mean and rude to her elders. She went around fighting and stealing other children's toys. One evening, as her mother was preparing supper, Aoko walked in with a huge stone and dropped it in the pot of soup, and the hot soup splashed back on her aged mother's face and chest, leaving her with terrible severe burns on face and chest. Mrs. Ole's condition did not improve at all. She got worse by the day, and one night she just died peaceful in her sleep. The whole village went into mourning as they cursed Aoko for causing the death of her own mother. The guilt of killing her own mother lived with Aoko for a very long time. She regretted her actions and she decided to turn over a new leaf. Aoko became a very responsible girl. She'd fetch firewood, fetch water, clean their compound, and even cook for her aged father. Years went by so quickly and Aoko grew up to be such a beautiful lady. Men would turn their necks whenever she passed by, and so many of them started flocking around her father's compound to ask for a hand in marriage, but her father turned them all down. When Mr. Olo noticed that men had started flocking around his daughter, he went to his old friend, Mr. Reef, who had helped him and his wife to get a child after they had tried for such a long time to have one. They sat down and talked for such a long time, and he promised to come the following day to take Aoko home because she was already betrothed as a child. Early the next morning, Mr. Reef and his son Jeff walked into Mr. Olu's compound and performed all the marriage rites and left with Aoko. Aoko and her new husband got home and their new life path of marriage began. Every night something strange happened. Aoko's husband will disappear and a snake will coil around Aoko's leg. Aoko will struggle with the snake all night, and every time she will get a panga and try to kill it, it turned back to Jeff and Aoko will be left wondering if she was just dreaming. This went on for quite some time and Aoko got tired. One night she decided to hide outside to check if her suspicions were right, and she saw her husband turn into a snake. Aoko got so tired with all the drama, and one night she went to bed with a panga. When the husband turned into a snake, Aoko did not resist, and this time round she chopped off its head and took it out and burnt it to ashes. After that, she took her things and returned back to her father's house. The news went round on how Aoko had finally killed and destroyed the snake that Mr. Reef would use for his witchcraft practices. Aoko became a village champion for destroying the biggest witch snake, and she was loved by many. She finally got married to a prince, and they lived happily ever after. If you've loved this story and watched it to this far, please remember to subscribe, give us a like and share if you can, and leave a comment on the comment section with your name and where you're watching us from for me to give you a shout out on the next episode of Wonder Stories by Julian.